Good afternoon. Hi, hi. Hi, everybody. Feliz año. Good afternoon. Hola, Abby. Good afternoon. Gracias, Abby. Thank you so much. We are doing our beautiful blog today, Thursday, in English. And today we're gonna be talking about goal setting. We're gonna be talking about toxic people. We're gonna be talking about the power of daily rituals, and of course, we're gonna answer the questions that you have in mind for, so you can do the things that you want to do in 2026. I am very excited about this year, so I hope you are the same. If anybody has any questions right now before we really get going, once I start talking, I won't stop. I will read your comments after. So you have a question in reference to what we're talking about today, I will do that. Oh, no me digas doña, papi. A mí no me digas doña. Yo no soy doña Bárbara. Mi nombre es Josefina. Don't call me Doña. I'm not Doña. I'm Josefina. You look amazing. Great topic. We will learn a lot. Yes, Abby. Okay, let's get going. Just before I posted a video this morning announcing that I was going to go live today around this time, somebody wrote to me asking me about dealing with negative people, with toxic people. And I think it's about time that we make peace with people who are not providing what you need. You cannot keep fighting the negative people. You have to stop outsourcing your responsibilities and really manage what you can manage when it comes to toxic people. And it seems right now that we are in a society that this is very popular, it's prevalent, is that the natural behavior for people. So we see these toxic personalities, toxic behavior, toxic attitude, and the problem is not people having this kind of behavior, personality, or attitude. I think it has to do more in how I choose to respond to this behavior, attitude, and personality. And because I don't respond, what I do is to react to the nonsense. So I think it's very important that we define what toxicity or toxic personality or toxic behavior is. Hello, hola Cristina, hola Lama Tura, Mantuana. Estamos en mi canal de YouTube y estamos en Facebook y estamos en Instagram. Now, I think it's important to understand why toxic behavior, attitude, and personality has become so prevalent. Why it's so popular. When we define or redefine toxicity, toxic people is not the people who are only rude, manipulative, or narcissistic. These are few of the qualities that identify toxic people. Toxic people are usually rude. They don't care. They don't care to say sorry. No, rudeness, which is the opposite of being polite. You can see the difference between somebody who's rude and somebody who's polite. And that takes a huge gamma of behavior. Toxic people are manipulative. toxic people are narcissistic. And we need to keep that in mind, because this is the type of people you are reacting to. This is the type of people you wasting, because this is a waste of energy, mentally, physically, and spiritual energy. When you choose to react to people who are toxic people, who some of the qualities of these people are they are rude, they are manipulative and narcissistic. Now, if I know that for a fact, why will I waste my precious energy? Why? I have to be a little bit crazy, okay? At the and at a deeper level, people who are toxic in a deeper level, that's a way for them to survive. It's surviving. They need to behave, act, and have this attitude in order for them to survive. So put yourself in the place of these toxic people, the negative people, the people that you are constantly reacting. You need to develop a new way for you to deal with this type of behavior. It's a survival strategy. That's the way they know how to survive. They are in surviving mood. They are no striving. They lost their purpose. They lost the meaning in life. So this is the only way that they know for now to behave and to respond. Not responding, they're reacting. This type of surviving attitude is based on, listen to this behavior, this attitude, this type of personality is shaped by what? By fear. When you're reacting to these people, their behavior is shaped and based on fear. Also, this is the type of people who have an unresolved trauma. These are people who have issues. And so if you can understand that, then you will ask yourself the question, if toxic people, this is the way they survive, negative people, if this is the way they can find meaning in their life, and their behavior is shaped by fear, by trauma they have not taken the time to resolve, to work at it, by emotional deprivation, they deprive emotionally, they are deprived. And also, this type of narcissistic, toxic behavior is based on social conditioning. And you see at the level of social conditioning, you see that in social media, what they reward is when you are outrageous. The more crazy, the more outrageous, the more gross, the more violent that you are, that's the video, that's the most like, the video goes viral. I mean, it's insanity. It's totally insane. So for you, one of the ways that you have to really start working is working on yourself, and I will give you some tips in how to do this. So what happening then? Toxic people, negative people, they are some of the qualities. I'm repeating myself because I think this is very important, because I want you finally to get it. Don't keep wasting your time. You have goals. You cannot reach your goals. You cannot strive. You cannot do the best that you can. You cannot transform yourself, because life is a journey of transformation. Then because you're wasting your energy and what people are saying, people are doing, and these people is people at work, people in your family, people your friends, people in social media, no matter what. You have to get yourself out of that crazy a carousel. You're going into a carousel. So you become very stressed out, very upset. And the problem with that is that you're not doing what you want to do because your precious time, the most beautiful hours of your day, you are wasting it reacting and responding to people who have issues. Happy people don't go doing this stuff. Happy people no, are happy people. But happy people are focused on their goals, their dreams. They have a purpose. They have a meaning in their life. They don't go in that direction. Now, when you continue to participate in somebody else's trauma, in somebody else's drama, and in somebody else's cuckoo-ness, then it's your issue. Then you are as crazy as they are because you should know better. You should know better. Sigmund Freud said the following: when emotional needs are suppressed rather than understood, they don't disappear. They transform in anger, control, envy, and emotional numbness. This is what Sigmund Freud said about this type of behavior. And he said, I repeat, when your emotional needs are suppressed rather than understood, because what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to understand our emotional needs. We're supposed to be proactive. We don't supposed to be outsourcing my issues. I have to work on my issues. I have to take the time to do that. If I can do it on my own, I do it on my own. If I have to get a psychologist, psychiatrist, a coach, whatever I need. But I have to stop outsourcing my emotional needs because Sigmund Freud said that when my emotional needs are suppressed rather than understood, my job is to understand why I'm feeling this way. Why am I reacting to you? Why am I responding this way? Why am I angry? Why I hate everybody? Why I reacting to everybody? Why everybody offends me? It's not the people, it's me. Because I'm the one projecting all my trauma, drama, and emotional issues that I haven't taken the time to work on. So all this emotion that I haven't worked on, so what happened? They transform, and they appear as anger. These are the people who are constantly angry. Everything bothers them. There is nothing good. It's always pissed off, mad, crazy. Control. These are the type of people who want to control. And this is an interesting case. The people who wants to have control, the only thing they cannot control is themselves. And because they can't control themselves, they try to control something outside of them. This is the craziest thing for me, that I can control myself, but I had the audacity, I had a mental believe that I can control you. That's insanity. That is somebody who is insane. Why don't you focus your energy in controlling yourself? Why don't you control your discipline? Why don't you control that what you promise yourself to do, you do it? Why don't you get yourself in the best shape of your life? Why don't you work on getting the job that you want? Why don't you become the best person that you can be? That's the work. So it becomes a projection. It's a projection of hostility and destructive patterns of behavior against other people. When I don't work on my issues, emotions that I haven't taken the time to understand why I behave that way, then I start projecting. I'm not projecting happiness, because you cannot project happiness if you are a person who are constantly angry. What you are going to project constantly is hostility and behavior that you feel is going to offend, is going to hurt, is going to destroy the people around you. Because the only thing toxic people, toxic personality behave that way is because they want to survive. And this is the only way they know how to. And you can see also that many conversation in this time that we live in right now, because you have to understand the whole society factors. This has to do a lot of with society factors. And in society you see constantly that conversations are not about listening, but about contradicting, about winning, about destroying, about name calling. People don't try to connect because they want a relationship. Relationships today is not about connection. It's about validation. They want it to be valued. So they don't see the relationships as a way to connect with other human beings. That concept of human being is totally disappearing from our way of living. So we don't see each other as another human being. I see you as somebody that I can hit back. I can put you in your place. I can condemn you. And there it goes. Okay, which is a totally insane and a waste of precious life. Okay, so I was saying, conversations are not about listening, but about winning. Many relationships are not about connection, but about validation. Social media, for example, rewards outrage. What do you find in social media? Outrageousness, comparisons, and performance. And those are the people who get the most like, the most following, boom, 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 pa, pa, pow. All this train the mind to see other not as a human being, but as a mirror reflecting our own insecurities. I don't see you as another human being. I see you as a mirror, and you are reflecting my own insecurities. When somebody is attacking you, they're not attacking you. You are reflecting back to them their own insecurities. It's not about you. If somebody reacts against me, I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my energy, because if I haven't done anything to you, if I'm living my own life, if I'm achieving my goals and my dreams, and you come out of the blue because you are toxic people want to attack me, you can rest at peace that you wasting your time, because I'm not going to be reflecting, because what you are projecting is your own insecurities against me. They are reflecting people, insecure people, toxic behavior, toxic attitude. They don't see you as a human being. They see you as a mirror. You are a mirror. And you're reflecting back to them who they are. And then that's the crazy part that you react to it. It has nothing to do with you. If you live life right, if you live your life every single day to the best of your ability, and you're in your consciousness, what you're trying to do is just to be the best person that you can be. And if you make a mistake, you make a correction. You make a mistake, you make a correction. And if unconsciously or without intention, Something happened, you apologize. You say, oh, sorry, whatever, Remember, toxic people are rude. They are rude. Another factor that increases this type of toxic behavior is chronic stress. And you see society, people are living in a society that is about competition, about how many followers, about winning, about this, the craziness, which is good. I don't have any, I like winning. I like to win. I live my life with a purpose that every day do my best to do the best because I like winning. But I'm not going to be projecting that into somebody else. It has to do with you all in your own way, in your own life. Because all this, when it's external, when you're getting all the pressure from society, when that pressure is internal, it's a big difference when I put the pressure on myself about my competition. It's personal. It's me. It's in my world. The big difference is when I'm taking the stress from the outside world. That's a different thing because I know why I'm putting the stress on myself. Yeah, and when you do that because you have a purpose and you have a meaning and you know why you're doing it, then it's not stress. It's a pleasure. Let me give you an example. I was doing my workout this morning. I was doing chest, you can tell. So this gentleman came over and he says to me, Josefina, how are you? I said, I'm great, thank you. Because I'm always great. So he said, are you competing soon? And I said, yeah. And he said, I can tell. You have a haircut, which I'm not, but there's a perception. You have a haircut, you look amazing. I can tell. So he said, when? And I said, May 3rd and the 2nd. Because the point is that you are projecting that image of wellness constantly. And because I'm working on myself constantly, people assume that I'm competing probably next weekend. It's not until May. But every single day you are doing your best. So you are doing your best because we are talking about chronic stress. And when people allow themselves to get in that mindset of a chronic stress, then they become even more rude, more toxic, more destructive, more out of control, more projection, more hostility. You have to reclaim your personality. What happens when people behave that way, when you choose to behave that way, then you are causing psychological decay. You are decaying psychologically. You are lost. So you have to stop, because one of the consequences of continuously, repeatedly being a toxic person, a negative person, a person who never sees the bright side of life, you are developing psychological decay. You decaying, putrefying. I like that. So what do you have to do? You have to reclaim. You have to reclaim your personality. You have to reclaim your responsibility. You have to reclaim your power. How do you reclaim your power? You have to stop blaming others. You have to stop outsourcing your responsibility. You have to stop projecting and take care. You become consciousness. You become conscious. You develop an awareness, a self-consciousness. And self-consciousness is the ability to pause, observe, and choose. When you start becoming responsible, when you're not outsourcing your responsibility, when you are not giving your energy to negative evil people out there, then you start developing a way of consciousness. And when you develop that ability of consciousness, what is consciousness? Consciousness is you are in the present. in the present moment. You are into what you are doing right now. And that's what the gentleman this morning during my workout said to me, you look so happy and you into it because you are in the present moment. I'm with you here. I'm with you here. I'm not thinking about what am I going to do after this. I'm with you. So the consciousness is the ability. When you become a conscious person and something happens outside of you, when something happens outside of you, you pause. You observe the behavior of the person or whatever is happening, and then you choose. Of pausing is that you pause. You observe. You see what that person is doing, what they're doing. And then in that moment of pause, you choose your behavior. You choose your behavior. You have the power to choose your behavior. But when you don't pause and somebody says something to you, what are you gonna be doing? You're gonna react immediately because society. Gosh, I'll be right back. Okay, went back. Okay, with the connection. Okay, do please. I need feedback. I was still on. I don't want to lose the video. Okay. Christina, are we on? Mantuana, okay, great. Because I got some the connection with the internet. I don't want to lose the video. Okay, now let's try to finish this very quickly then. So consciousness is the ability to pause, observe, and choose. Choose your response. Stop reacting and start choosing to respond. And how do you do that? You observe what the situation, what the person, whatever it is, and then you observe and you choose. No, when you use that, when you make that choice, this is no weakness. This is psychological strength. This is empowerment. This is you reclaiming your power. So this ability to pause, observe, and choose. This is no weakness. It is a psychological strength. It takes you to a higher level of consciousness. It will take you into a higher level of consciousness. Society wants you to react quickly. Stop reacting, start responding. Where there is no pause, there is no choice. If you don't pause, pause. P-A-U-S-E, pause, to stop. If you don't pause, there is no choice because you automatically react. Where there is no pause, there is no choice. Put that in your subconscious. It's a mantra. When you have meaning in life, and Viktor Frankl, the guy who survived the Holocaust, in his book, Man in Search for Meaning, he said, meaning is found in how we respond, not in what happens to us. Viktor Frankl. You find meaning in life in how you respond, not in what happens to you. That's very powerful. So as you go through this process, so we go into the self-awareness, becoming aware of myself, becoming aware of my emotion, becoming aware, why am I upset today? What is making me feel this way? So to reclaim my emotional stability, talk to a friend, whatever resources you have. But you gotta take responsibility. You have to reclaim your power because it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond. We're talking about responding, we're not talking about reacting. Big difference. So, reclaiming that sense of awareness, reclaiming emotional integration. You have to integrate your emotion. And what Carl Jung says that when we don't like, when we hate things about ourselves, those things become shadows, and those shadows block us from our development. So if you have issues with yourself, work at it. Make peace with yourself. You're not perfect. Nobody is perfect, but you can improve every single day. Because if you continuously keep hiding the thing that you don't like about yourself, and the only thing you constantly do is criticizing and condemning yourself, those are what Carl Jung, the psychiatrist Carl Jung, call the shadow. And when the shadow, when you don't work your shadow, the shadows are constantly appearing in your life, and that's what you see: the negative people, the toxic people, the narcissistic people. That's why you see that, because they have issues that they haven't taken the time to work in their emotional integrity. Okay. Now, when you when you acknowledge your emotions, you stop suffering, and the suffering becomes wisdom. This is beautiful. When you take the time to acknowledge your emotions, you transform suffering into wisdom. And the book Habakkuk, in the last chapter of Habakkuk, it's only 3 chapters, and he says that all my responsibility, all my duties, all my work is used for my spiritual development. So all, when you take, in psychology, in this case will be when you acknowledge your emotion, those emotions, when you acknowledge them, when you work on them, they are gonna be transforming from suffering to wisdom. Who doesn't want wisdom? Who doesn't want wisdom? Toxic people, and this is to conclude this. You need to remember, toxic people are people that are lost. Toxic, negative people are people that are lost. Okay? They lack purpose. When you are surrounded by negative people, toxic people, just remember that these human beings, they need help. But you know their psychiatrist, you know their psychology, and whatever they're throwing at you, you don't have to react to it. You respond, because you respond with what? With understanding. They are sick. They're lacking something. They're lacking purpose. They are lost, and there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. The only thing that you can do is to take responsibility for you and pause, observe, and choose. You can choose to walk away. You can choose to say, I'm so sorry you feel that way, whatever. But don't get into the pit. Don't start fighting in the mud. Please. They lack understanding. These are the people who are constantly outsourcing their own responsibility. I'm going to repeat. Toxic people are lost. Negative people are lost. What do they cultivate? They cultivate anger. We talk about anger, control, envy, emotional numbness. This is what you are reacting to it. Okay, you're reacting to this stuff. Toxic people are lost. They lack purpose. And you can see the people who have purpose in life, they don't have time to be doing that stuff. They don't have time for negativity. When you're busy working in yourself, working in your goals, your dream, the thing that you want to achieve, you don't have time for this nonsense. They don't have purpose. They are totally disconnected. They lack understanding. They lack self-understanding. They outsourcing the responsibility. They don't have a sense of belonging. When you don't have a sense of belonging, people feel that they don't belong anywhere. They lost. They're looking for validation. They suffer from inner emptiness. They feel empty inside. They only understand control or validation. Ask yourself, in moments of tension, you react automatically, or do you pause and choose? That space between the 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 observation, the pause, the moment of that space and you pause, that's where your power is. That's where your power is. That's when that's the space between the stimulus and the response. The pause is the space between the stimulus and the response. That's the way you transform, you dissolve toxicity into turn that into humanity. That's when humanity returns. Okay, I'm going to stop. Anybody has a question? Okay, you too. So we are, I guess I think we have 37 minutes here in this lecture. And so I'm going to leave it like that. So maybe next week we can talk about goal setting. You tell me, guys, what do you want me to talk about? But I think I was going to do the goals today, but I think this kind of information is very important because we are social beings. We are constantly interacting in society, and we have to choose our best self to interact with society, with everybody, with each other. We're supposed to be nice to each other. We're supposed to love each other. Today I was reading in John chapter 14. It's just about loving people, but I cannot love myself when I hate myself. Okay, Mantuana, this information is really helpful. I'm so glad because Mantuana, the thing is that if I'm in turmoil inside of me, how can I achieve what I want to achieve? I cannot achieve if I'm in discontent, if I'm miserable, if I'm unhappy. How can I achieve my goals? For goal setting, for achieving your goals and your dream, you have to be 100%. You have to be 100%. All your energy shall be invested in that. No in reacting, responding, notification, getting upset, getting this, getting that, at work and your relationship, no matter what. You have to develop the discipline to observe that them, they do what they need to do. They need so whatever they need to know. That's not your problem. If I can help you, I will. But if it's beyond my pale, there's nothing I can do. I do one thing I can do for you, to pray. May God help you. May God give you wisdom and understanding. May God give peace you in your heart. May you find happiness because life is beautiful. Our reaction to the stimulus depends on our thinking. What do you think about it? Yes, our reaction to the stimulus depends on our absolutely. Because if I'm thinking that you are that if I'm thinking that you're telling me something because I'm a bad person, then because that's my thinking. But if I'm at peace with myself, And it happens. I mean, it happens to me, and especially with family members, that they think I did something, but I know, and I know what I did. I know that I'm not guilty. I let them do their thing. And eventually they will find the truth, because the truth will set you free. So yes, it's gonna be all depending on my thought. What kind of thought I'm entertaining in my head? If my thoughts are, I'm ashamed. What is a shame? That is something wrong with me. So it's the big difference between I did something wrong, or I'm shameful. When I'm thinking that I'm ashamed, shame on me, it's because it's something wrong with me. So of course it's gonna be based in your thinking, in your opinion about yourself, the self-image that you have about yourself, the type of person that you think that you are, and that all is gonna take you in the direction of your goals and your dream. Everything is interconnected. Absolutely. Your thought, everything has their genesis from your thinking. That's why at the end I ask the question. Ask your spouse and ask yourself the question. In moments of tension, you react automatically, or you pause and choose? Absolutely. Yes. Good question, Mantuana. Okay. Anybody else? Buenos días. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, beautiful. So, any other questions on YouTube? My friends on YouTube, thank you so much. Like, share, and leave a beautiful comment of love. Okay, I'm gonna wait a few seconds. Oh, remember, I have my 6 books. Book number 1 is the book that everybody should have. Book number 1. And this book number 1 and book number 4 for the goals. Number 4, these 2 books. I love today's theme. Okay, these 2 books, Joemi, book 1 and book 4. How to get started changing your life. You need this. Number 1 is basic, and number 4 is how to get started changing your life. But you have to want it. You have to want to do it. You have to really become this amazing person that you already are, but you have to work it. You have to bring it. You have to take all the junk out and be free. Carolina, okay, my friend. Love today. Mantuana, my love, my friend is in YouTube. Thank you so much. And please, let's make the channel 40,000 subscribers. Okay, I need your help. Coming to YouTube, my YouTube channel, Dr. Josefina, and subscribe, share, and like, because I want to reach before the end of this year 40,000 subscribers, which is easy, but I need your help. I cannot do it all by myself. I love you guys. I said pow, you said wow. Getting ready for competition. And in my first competition is going to be May 2nd and 3rd. That weekend I'm doing 2 shows. Sunday is a natural show. Saturday is a regular show. But I don't care. I show. Bow wow. Ciao. I love you guys. See you next week. Bow wow. Bye. Amazing.